For this video, I'm just talking about my top three favorite arcade modes in games. So, my favorite arcade modes. So, arcade modes they offer, in my opinion, more replayability, more challenges, more, more overall abilities, more enemies I get to see, and yeah, they're just overall, are very fun. So I'm gonna go a top three, going a three down to one. And recently, my phone recording like is not working. I don't know why. So like I am now recording like on my laptop, right? And yeah, so here we go. Let's get into it here now. Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. I'm talking about the early zombies. So Black Ops Zombies and World of War Zombies. Mostly, Black Ops Zombies. Black Ops Zombies started out, like with, Kino. You had Kino. You had Five. Then later on, like with the DLCs, you had Ascension. You had I Call It Dead. You had Moon, and yeah, every map stood out and had a certain type of a personality about them. So I Call of Duty Zombies again is like a zombie, a survival type thing. It's like round to round type thing, right? So a round one, round two, round three, etc. Right? So yeah, a round, and then as the rounds get higher, the overall difficulty gets harder. The zombies basically get more bullet spongy. But like what I love about zombies is just again the maps. Every map kind of stands out, and it has a certain personality about it. From Kino being that abandoned a movie theater, right? The 1940s a movie theater, to a Five being like the 1960s a Pentagon, right? And yeah, every map kind of stands out. And then some maps are more tighter, like lots of tight spaces where it's harder to play zombies, right? Other maps are a little bit more more wide open spaces, and yeah. Another thing too, and the mystery box that was very fun. So the mystery box is like an RNG type thing where, I spend points, you basically are gaining points throughout the game, and the mystery box is really, really, really like very, very fun. It can go against you, and it can also help you. So a mystery box, you can either get like a very good weapon or a bad weapon. Like I remember always trying to get the ray gun, or whether it be the thunder gun, the wonder waff, and the microwave gun. It was very fun. But yeah, it allows for more overall replayability as well. There's one map like I remember where there's just the ray gun. That's one of the older maps, and yeah, there's other things too, like the cryo gun, winter assault, etc. Perks as well. Perks always. I can remember playing the game, always getting a Juggernog, right? A Juggernog like is very key to the success. Other things like quick revive, PhD, sweet cola, etc. Right? So that's the number three, Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. Number two is gonna be Devil May Cry 5, Bloody Palace. So Bloody Palace, very similar type of premise to zombies, except it's obviously a different genre, third person, action adventure, a hack and slash type thing. So with a Bloody Palace is like waves, stages and stages, waves and waves. So like every wave has different enemies, right? There's more overall a variety in this one. Different enemies, right? And you can play as four different characters. And each character plays, very differently. Dante, Nero, Virgil, and V, right? Every character plays very differently. And like what I like about it too is that and playing a Bloody Palace, every 20 waves too, the difficulty kind of spikes, so the difficulty gets harder. So let's say level 40, the difficulty goes from easy to medium, and then 60 goes to hard, and then very hard, etc. The waves go all the way up to wave 99. Going back like to the play style, so playing like as the different characters, right? Every character plays differently. Dante plays, as a mix-up, like, a jack of all trades. He's super fast. He has the projectiles. He has a heavy hitting, a damage, a type moves as well. Virgil is just all speed. He's extremely very fast, heavy hitters. A Nero is mostly like a heavy hitter, but he moves slow. And V doesn't really do anything. He relies on demons to attack for him, right? And yeah, so a Bloody Palace, again, Bloody Palace really allows for, again, more practice. So really practicing things like parrying. If you have Dante Royal Guard, right, which is like this block, and for the most part, actually, every time you die, whichever stage like you want, you're on last, you can always replay any stage up until that point. So if you died at stage 30, for example, here, or stage 40, and then if you restart, you can always choose to replay like a certain stage. But it's just at one stage. You can only choose one stage to replay, right? Yeah, yeah. And like at the bosses, every 20 stages or so, there's a boss level. Yeah, yeah, yeah. At 20 waves or whatever, like there's a boss, and the bosses will give you extra points. It's mostly how you're gaining time. You're adding to the time limit, right? Before the time runs out. The time is not gonna run out. It's lots of time, and yeah. So yeah, Devil May Cry 5, A Bloody Palace, and the enemies, for the most part, stay the same. The enemies, from each run. So stage 10 is gonna have the same enemies on the first run as stage 10 and the second run. So the enemies, for the most part, they stay the same. But there's lots of different enemy variety, like from stage to stage, right? So yeah, a number one here now is gonna be a Returnal. Returnal, the towers, Aphium Towers, I believe are they called. This game, Returnal being the base game is like a roguelike game. So if you die, you reset back to the a fixed point, right? There's no checkpoints. Same type of thing, like a type of thing like with the waves, right? You're going through the waves, and a very similar to a Bloody Palace, except this one is a little bit different. This is obviously the genre is a little bit different, third-person shooter, right? A roguelike. But this one has it too. So every time you restart, the levels change slightly. The levels change slightly. The weapon pickups kind of change slightly. The perks change, and the overall structure like of the level again changes too as well. Some stages too they're not actual fight state, and not all stages are fighting stages. Sometimes they're like an empty room, and then you gotta pick between two perks or power ups, right? Sometimes too, like with the game, playing the game like I constantly looking for health pickups, extra stats, extra damage, etc. Returnal, the Towers 2 also has the same type of premise to Devil May Cry. Every 20 stages, there's a boss. So there's the Orpheus boss, I believe it's called. The giant tentacle boss. Every 20 stages, you fight this boss. So, the basically goes by phases. Phase 1, Phase 2. And then every 20 rooms or 20 stages, you go into like a new phase. So at the end of each phase, you fight the boss, and every time you defeat the boss, he's going to give you like a certain he'll spread like there'll be like this massive aura, this red aura, and then your character gets this malfunction, and this malfunction is permanent, right? That the game has a parasites and a different type of things that are drawbacks, right? So there'll be a malfunction that you do less damage while you are in midair, right? There are other ones too where the enemies explode upon dying or being destroyed, and yeah, these can really become annoying. But plus, this boss comes back stronger every time you face it. It has a new attacks. It can teleport, etc. And another thing too, why I love it again is the enemy variety. The main level enemies to the mini bosses, right? Very unique type of bosses. Tons of different attacks, projectiles. The most annoying enemy is the one with the laser. The laser type attack. There's another one with the red ring type attack. But yeah, this is very fun. This is the farthest I got is phase 4, like a room 10, which is like a very a relatively far. But the more you play the game, the more the harder the enemies are gonna get over time. But yeah, a Returnal Tower is one of a kind, and again with the weapon pickups, right? As the weapons change over time, the weapons you basically gaining a caliber or whatever it is, so it can make the weapons more efficient, more damage, etc. And yeah, so like, share, subscribe. Top 3 arcade modes: Call of Duty Zombies, Devil May Cry 5, Bloody Palace, and Returnal Towers. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.